going to have an interview with Maiko Hosada, who is a percussionist with Ensemble 212. Hi, Maiko.
Hi, how are you?
Huh. Good, how are you?
You.
Good. Okay, to start this interview, could you briefly introduce yourself to our viewers?
Sure. I'm Maiko, a percussionist based in New York City. Born in Manchester, UK, raised in Yokohama, Japan. Did undergrad in Tokyo. Actually, I majored aesthetics, so that was like a little different path from other most of my callings. I didn't go to music school anyways, and after that I came to New York City in 2009, and since then I've been here freelancing. Well, I went to grad school, and yeah, so I did school there, and then I started working here. A few years later, and I joined the Ensemble 212, and then since then I've been playing with them, so it's been quite a long time. And then other than that, I've been playing in operas. I play a lot of operas. I like I like theater stuff, and I play being in a pit. So I do a lot of that, and I play a lot of contemporary music. It's my of course, as a percussionist, my greatest passion is to play new music and reach out to new audience.
Cool. How has life been since COVID?
Well, it's been a lot. It's not easy. But it's tough for everybody, and you know I'm lucky that I'm being healthy, and I have family to cope with, and my family is being healthy, and there I have some online teaching job, so there are a lot to be grateful for. So I'm trying to focus on that instead of you know the the things that I don't have right now.
Right. Mhm.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
so I'm doing fine.
That's a great attitude. Yeah, I love it. Okay, so a question. I did check out your website, but I noticed that you majored in aesthetics in college, as you mentioned. So, what is it exactly, and how did you transition from, being an aesthetics student to a musician?
I always had the vision of like someday I want to go live in New York City. That was one thing. And then someday I want to play music professionally. I want to, play. But at the same time, I had this like I was interested in art and all the philosophy. Like aesthetics is philosophy. Like talk about all the arts and how it's related to humans' emotions and so we study like art history, music history, and how like a little bit of philosophy history as well, and then talk about like how that's related to humans' emotions. It's not necessarily aesthetics. Like people think like talk, usually think like what's the beauty, but it's not about just beauty. It's about like anything that has um, adjectives. Could be you know arts, like something that gives us emotions. It could be ugly, it could be some strong, anything. But like tombstone wood is just functional tombstone, but like it has a decoration, and then have some kind of emotion to it. That could be an art. The sculpture is an art. you know so something like that. It's that talks about those like a relationship, I think. So like I my undergrad dissertation paper was about music therapy, like how music affects to people, because I was so interested in like how like like in theory how it works, and in real life like how people are using that to heal the pain. So that was my focus in undergrad. But and beyond that, like and after that, I came here and I started actually learning the technique on the music. I had been taking lessons, and I learning that all that stuff to get into the grad school. but but in the grad school I really focused on technique and everything. And so now here I am trying to connect all the dots. So I don't have an answer yet, but I'm trying to um, go through this journey and trying to see where it takes me.
That's so beautiful. I think it's really important that even young musicians, like any musician, like have a mindset of artists before they, add on the technique. I mean, technique is of course important, and it's
Yeah.
like the foundation of what makes art. Like otherwise it would be just a play or hobby. You know what I mean? Yeah, but
You want to have a reason, like why you want to play, and then
right,
what you want to do with music.
yeah. Yeah, and just like creating the sound beyond the sound itself comes from the mindset, not the technique. So you're also very well trained music educator, right? You're trained in Orff and Dalcroze teaching
Yeah.
method, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how did you get into that, and how are you teaching that currently?
Well, my percussion teacher was actually also a dog rose teacher. So,
Mm.
her approach was always using that eurythmic. So that was a big influence. It's because, the percussion is, playing the rhythm, but rhythm is not just the, you know, notes, note after note. It's about it's language. It's like so if you can't speak the notes, if you can't speak the notes like language, you can't apply that on the instrument. And if you do that, if you just play the notes on the instrument, that wouldn't sound anything. But it has to be like, you know language, the music just flows. So yeah, that's what she taught me, and that really helped. And the approach was so that a lot of time we were not using instrument at all, like we're just moving bodies and clapping and all that, like listening to different music and then moving to that music, something like that. And Orff is like I familiar was more with all Orff, um, because actually my mother is also a music educator, and that's kind of her field. So like she always took me to her classes. So like I was sitting there in her class, and then I learned all that. Orff is more like, it's not to create a professional musician. It's to help people, help kids grow, and to able to express their feelings better, or like feelings or anything, that expression that they want to express. So like the off just gives you tools for that. If you have, so like it doesn't have to be like a very complicated music. The music doesn't come first. It's like very, very simple form of rhythm, and you just make ostinato, and you just put like a melody on top of it. That's something that you're familiar with, and you can already create an ensemble. That's, so like use like simple elements. It could be like your mother language, like mother tongue. Wait, what do you call that?
Yeah, mother tongue.
No,
Right.
the like songs, like nursery rhymes.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Like nursery rhymes. Yeah, so like the element could be nursery rhymes and simple
Folk
rhythm.
songs.
Yeah, exactly. And then simple rhythm, and it doesn't have to be an instrument. It could be like clapping, something like that. And then create, like, if you combine all that and then layer it, it could be like really nice music. And that's the idea. So I use that as well. Like it depends on like what the student needs. I use different technique.
That's great. Yeah. I come from music education background as well. So I'm not like formally trained in those methods, but I am aware of them. And when I taught in school, they were really great with young students and really like enable people without formal training to open up to music and really utilize music as part of their self expression and everything, connecting with each other. It's really fantastic. Let's talk about Ensemble 2 on 2 now. So how did you first come across Ensemble 2 on 2, and what was the most memorable experience with Ensemble 2 on 2 for you?
Well, I think one of the core members introduced me to Yunjae because Yunjae was looking for a percussionist. I think that's how it started. So, and I went and then I played, and since then, I've been playing. And the most memorable moment, that's a hard question, because we've been playing a lot of concerts, and it's very hard to narrow it down. But I would say, you know what? There's one concert I always like the series. What is that called? New music for new audience.
Young audience. Yeah.
Young, yeah. I like that series because as I said, as a percussionist, I have a great passion to play music and reach out to people. I want to just share my love for new music with other people. So like, because it could be really intimidating sometimes. People think it's not as easy to listen to music, like contemporary music, because it's not tonal. It's not like, something that they listen to daily. So I really like that, like to have kids. And the one concert, when I after the concert, this kid came to me and told me that she really liked the concert. And then I was like, oh, that's great. And what part did you like the most? And then she said, I like that part that you changed the mallet, the blue mallet from pink mallets. That was cool. And then I thought that was great because that's something that you can't experience if you just listen to the recording. That's she was experiencing the whole concert as a whole. It's like it's not just the sound, it's about visual and you know and the excitement that she probably she felt from musicians and also the other audience. So yeah, that's what live performance is all about, experiencing, like to experience it, right? So not just to listen. And I don't expect them to say like, oh, I liked the piece, the part, the harmony was great and this rhythm was cool. I don't expect, or like I don't want them to feel like they have to say something like that. And it was like honest and cute opinion, and I really liked it. And especially now that we can't go to the live concerts, I hope like people are craving, like we are all craving to play in person. But I feel, I hope people are feeling that way, so that when we get together again next time, I think it's gonna be really great.
Yeah, I think there's like the energy is accumulating. Everyone's really, now they had enough of online, YouTube concerts, and it's really reaching to the point, yeah, of limit, yeah. But
Yeah,
yeah,
feel the energy though. Like as soon as that, actually, like as soon as we hit 2021, in the same week I got like calls from 4 or 5 different groups, and then they're all like, let's talk about what we're gonna do.
yeah.
So it's great.
Yeah, we are all eager to move on, and yeah, it's gonna be great. Yeah, it's just gonna get better and better. So yeah, you have passion for new music. Do you have any advice for our audience who is growing on new music about how to approach or how to listen to new music repertoire?
Um, as I said, I think um, we should all experience it instead of just, listening. So not possible right now, but go to concerts instead of, trying to listen to the recording on YouTube. I think that's the best thing. And then it's okay to not understand, because who does? you know John Cage 433. That's like, people say like, that's, what's that about? You just sit quietly and then you call it music. And so like and I would say, you don't have to call it music. It's just, one experience that you can, give it a try. And then if you feel, I think you would feel something. There's a low chance that you feel like nothing. You hear sound, you experience something, and through this experience you feel something, and then that's something. So yeah, and then it doesn't have to be, for 33, but like in any new music, if you um you see the musicians, like how, they're doing, like, maybe like string players having like a really fast passages, and like you can see like how they're moving and it's trying to get together, or like if you feel like a space, maybe musicians are standing or like playing in different places, and you might be in the hall and you feel that sound from everywhere 360, and then that experience will be totally different. So it really depends on the work, of course, but I think it's that, yeah, that's what I would say.
Yeah,
Don't
so
just listen. Don't just,
focus on the experience rather than the analytics of the sound.
yeah, just
Yeah,
don't listen,
that's
experience.
that's a great advice. Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
It's like
Okay.
a little girl who came to our concert,
Mhm.
just enjoy whatever you enjoy.
Next question is, as a percussionist, you, you like new music. So in my mind, I naturally wonder if you really like rock music as well. Do you like contemporary and rock music?
Rock music?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
that's
know
not.
how like yeah.
Well, but I don't play rock
Uh-huh.
music. Yeah, but I listen to it and I like of course I listen carefully to the drum part, and yeah.
Yeah. What's your favorite band?
Rock band? Well, that's hard. Let's skip that question.
Okay. Then what is your favorite piece to perform and what is your favorite piece to listen to?
um, you know what? There's so many pieces,
I'll
right?
give you, you can even give me two pieces. I'll be generous.
Um, the first one I would say Beethoven nine. the timpani part.
Yeah.
That's really fun, and I don't get to play that so often. So like if I get a gig and say it's a Beethoven 9 and play timpani, I would be really happy. That's one. Okay, number two. Um, well, I would say Xenakis. Do you know the composer Xenakis?
I don't know.
He's a Greek composer who wrote a lot of percussion repertoires, and yeah, he wrote a lot of good percussion raps, and I like his works.
That's good. I'll have to check him out.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. And what is your favorite piece to listen to?
I really like Keith Jarrett, the jazz pianist. His piano playing is so beautiful. He just he improvised on piano for like hours at the concert hall, and I recently went to see him at Carnegie, and that was
Nice.
beautiful. Yeah.
Nice, nice. Wonderful. And
Well,
when was uh-huh.
I said recently, but I guess it's a few years ago. I just don't have sense of time anymore.
Okay, and another fun question. If you're not the percussionist, which instrument would you pick?
Mm, I would say I I have two opposite answers. Like one is flute because you don't have to worry about loading, unloading, setting up, and all the logistics. It's a funny joke that like if you can see the pie chart of each instrumentalist, like what they are thinking before a concert. Like a percussionist pie chart will be 90% loading, unloading, 10% counting the rest. And wait, 10%, and that would complete the circles. Wait, 9% counting the rest, and 1% playing the right notes. Something like that. Of course that's a joke, but I always say like, oh, why didn't I choose flute in the beginning? That's my joke. In fantasy world, I would like to play double bass. I think it's so unrealistic for me because I'm so short. But whenever I see the girl double bassist, you know, I I feel like, yeah, go girl, because it's such a like, male dominated area. And when girl goes like looks so cool, and yeah. So like I always want to do that. I want to join into double bass. I think they look cool in orchestra.
Yeah, well, that's all the questions that I have for you today. Thank you so much for your time and sharing your journey with us.
Thank you so much for having me.